years ago, a man by the name of Edgar Rice Burroughs wrote a series of books that really kind of influenced the sci-fi genre for a century. Well, now it's 2012, and we've got a movie called John Carter. Star Wars, Star Trek, all of them have John Carter to thank. I got a chance to be here on Mars, or Arizona, to take a look at the movie and to interview the cast and director, Andrew Stanton. So John Carter it's been 100 years since this story has been written, and has been such an influence on the sci-fi genre as a whole. So with that on your shoulders, how do you...
I never saw it on my shoulders. I actually felt it was the other way around. Nobody was remembering it, and it was about to go into obscurity forever. And I felt like I was catching it just before it went down the sewer grate, you know? and so I feel like it wasn't pressure, it was more of obligation of just like, let's put this on the screen before everybody forgets. So any pressure I had was just my own fan pressure of like hoping that I would be able to get it, you know, above water. It's got a very unique, romantic, historic, thing of the past feel to it when you read it. And nobody's ever captured that and done exactly that property. It's like feeling like you're hearing like the Xeroxy echo of a Beatles songs, and nobody's ever heard the original music. And I just felt like this is not like anything else, even though people think it might be for all the inspirations it might be. So I had complete confidence it could fit in the canon. It just, would somebody get it up there? I was worrying that, like, after seeing it almost be made like 4 or 5 times in the span of like 3 years, and every studio was dropping, I'm like, it's just gonna like start looking like it's cursed, like nobody should touch it.
Well, now your time at Pixar, working with completely original content, and this based on a long series of books, and then jumping to live action directing. Was that a
it was transition? I mean, I didn't know what it would be like either, but that was part of the attraction. It turned out not to be easy, but a little easier because there was already a starting point. I didn't have to make up stuff from scratch. There was already 11 books of description of who these people were and what this place was like. It was a huge asset. And so I could kind of pick and choose, like going to the grocery store. But once I got all those kind of details, it was the same heavy lifting. I had to figure out, how do you keep people interested? How do you make there be character growth? How do you make these relationships all work? How do you make the 3-act structure work? Suddenly you're just back to square one like you would be with anything else. Going into live action, I knew it would be completely different, but I felt like I've been watching how movies get made my whole life. I'd made movies, Super 8 movies with my friends when I was a kid. I kind of missed that sort of run and gun feel. And I really felt like I knew half the equation, because I knew half this movie would be an animated movie, and that was totally familiar territory. And it's exactly what it turned out. There's more animated shots in this than in Finding Nemo. I mean, it was making an animated movie plus making a live action movie. So it was daunting, but not completely foreign.
Now, your collaboration with Michael Giacchino on the score, there's a little history there with Pixar. How was it like working with Michael Giacchino?
Well, it's very comfortable because, like I said, I never worked with him on any of my films, but he's Pixar family, so I felt like I'd known him for years. And to suddenly work professionally was kind of interesting to come at it from that direction. Usually it's you work with them and you become friends. It just ended up being kismet because, you know, he and I are the same age practically, and we had the same influences growing up. We were both soundtrack geeks, and we could almost sort of just do shorthand about, it's like this track from this score of this composer. And he's never been allowed to just truly get his space opera adventure geek on and just go for the leitmotif. And man, he was able to go for it on this film. And I said, I haven't felt like this since when I bought the double LP of Star Wars when I was a kid and just couldn't stop playing it.
And what was your collaboration with him like? Was it from the very beginning of the development of the movie?
Very early on, And you know, he's a busy guy, so he was always doing other things, but he was always checking in. He's also incredibly fast, so he would demo stuff, and then right there in the moment, you know, we wanted to change things, we'd try other things, and he does this unique thing where he actually writes an overture before he gets started, just to see if does it feel like the movie, and he's not so attached to it, so you can literally go, oh, I love that, but I don't love that, and nobody's offended. It's a really smart way to work.